Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel, and today I'm going to show you how to clean a Glock 17, also known as the G17 Gen 5. Before we do anything, safety first, let's go ahead and make sure that the firearm is in fact unloaded. So go ahead and grab the firearm, keep your finger off the trigger. Okay, press your magazine ejection button on the left side or right side depending on how you have it set up. Magazine comes out. Notice that there is ammunition in the magazine, so we're going to set that off to the side for now. Go ahead and pull back on the slide, check the chamber, okay, verify that it's empty, and go ahead and set the pistol down, and go ahead and move your magazine to a different working area. Alright, so when it comes time to clean the Glock 17, the good news is that it doesn't require a lot. They're designed for a minimal amount of maintenance, but also a minimal amount of lubrication too, which is good. It doesn't take much to keep them running. So, for starters, you want to make sure you have yourself some sort of a lubricant cleaner. I like to use Cleanse Oil Field and Range. It's one of my favorites. You know, you can use CLP if you want to, or you can use Rem Oil, Ballistol, SIG, which is made by Lucas. Pretty much whatever works best for you, as long as it's a lubricant cleaner, you're good to go. I also have a little needle oiler, which has a fine point on it, which allows me to add lubrication, but not too much, okay? Also, you want some sort of a nylon bristle brush. You might want to just use an old toothbrush, like a soft brush if you have one. Otherwise, you can pick one of these up in the cleaning section of your sporting goods store or firearm store. Now, the nice thing is that the Glock itself does come with a cleaning rod. You can use that, or if you have a one-piece cleaning rod, you can certainly use one of those too. This will let you put patches in it to clean out the barrel. It also has a threading on the end of it, which is nice because it comes with a fairly decent brush. And this will do a great job cleaning out the barrel. And really, you can function with just this to clean out the barrel if you want to, and some patches. Otherwise, if you have a really dirty barrel or a really fouled up barrel, you can get yourself a brass 9mm bore brush. And this will go on the end of a brass cleaning rod. Doesn't really fit very well on the plastic rod that comes with the gun. This has a different thread pattern to it. But if you have a cleaning kit or a 9mm cleaning kit, you'll get one of these brushes with it. And you can certainly go this route. I'm going to be using a bore snake on mine, which is what I use for most of my cleaning videos. It's real simple. You put a couple drops of lubricant on it, run it through the barrel, and it's all set to go. So this is a 9mm bore snake made by Hoppies, if I'm not mistaken. Now, a couple unnecessary items, but really makes things a little bit easier. These are some pre-lubricated bore sticks made by Cleanse Oil. You don't have to have these, but if you don't have these, you can simply just run a patch with some oil on it through the barrel, and it does the same thing. Cleanse Oil sent me a bunch of their products when they saw me using them in a previous video. So while I don't get any monetary compensation from Cleanse Oil, they did send me kind of a thank you pack, so I do use those. Also, you want to have some cleaning patches, or you can cut up an old cotton t-shirt if you want to. These are just from Shields. Get 250 of them. They're 2 1/4 inch squares, and they make it really, really easy. All right, let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so this part can be probably the trickiest for any new gun owner, or if you're a seasoned Glock owner, then you already know what you're doing. Again, check the chamber, make sure it's empty. What I like to do is just kind of grip and pull back about a 1/4 inch or so. And then there's a little takedown lever right here on each side. Okay, you're going to want to pull that down with your left hand or right hand, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. And go ahead and pull down on that, and that's going to release the slide. Okay, then go ahead and push the trigger, and the slide's going to come right off or slide off. I noticed on this Gen 5 versus the Gen 4, it seems like it comes off much easier, and we can see the inside of the firearm. Now, this one's not very dirty. I did go through and clean it as soon as I took it out of the box to inspect it, make sure it's good to go. But why don't we go ahead and start off with the frame. All right, so a single drop of oil on a patch. Just go ahead and wipe off all the surfaces. We're just going to kind of add a little bit of lubricant to them. Now, you'll start to notice some areas of wear as you clean your firearm. You'll start to see like some metal wear and so on, and those are going to be the places where you want to make sure that you have lubrication. And again, just wipe off the back. We're good to go. You can wipe off what's called the dust cover, this area right here by the rail. Okay, simple enough. Okay, like I said, if I had mentioned before, make sure you've got some cotton swabs or some Q-tips handy, and it'll make things a little bit easier. Now, I like to take just the cleaning brush and just put a couple drops of oil on it. 1 or 2 is all you really have to do. Okay, and then we want to focus on this area right here where we have the rails on the front, and then also the back, and then also this middle section. Anywhere that you see metal or plastic that are going to come in contact with one another, good idea just to go ahead and wipe that off. I kind of like to hold it off to the side so that any kind of particles are going to fall out of the gun and not into the gun. There we go. Okay. All right, go ahead and take a dry patch this time. And we want to wipe everything off. Your ejector is going to get dirty. This little area right here by the trigger bar is going to get dirty. There we go. And there's still plenty of lubricant on here. Okay, we're okay there. All right. not bad. Now grab a Q-tip. Okay, put a single drop of oil on your Q-tip. Now we're going to do a little bit of that fine detail work. I like to get back here and just kind of wipe out the areas and kind of wipe everything down. Kind of get in there a little bit. Get this front part right here. This part's really going to get dirty right here by this trigger bar and in the front. So we're cleaning, and we're also leaving just a little tiny bit of lubricant on there. There we go. Okay, not bad. All right, now the last step is going to be, I guess you could say, the protective coating that we're going to be using. So again, grab a patch, single drop of oil, that's it, and just go ahead and wipe everything down, and we'll move on. This will just ensure, especially if you're in a high moisture environment, that you're not going to have to deal with any kind of corrosion issues or rust issues, but Glocks tend to be fairly weather resistant overall. I've owned several. I own a lot of different firearms. I'm not just totally, dyed-in-the-wool Glock owner, but they do run well for me. Okay, it looks nice. Okay, we'll go ahead and set that off to the side. We won't need any further lubrication just yet on that part. Let's go ahead and take care of the slide here in the guide rod. So you have a captive guide rod, which means that the spring and the guide rod stay together in one piece. Again, single drop of oil on your patch. Go ahead and pull your guide rod out. Pops right out. There we go. Let's go ahead and wipe that off. Okay, looks good. All right, we'll go ahead and just set that off to the side. All right, we'll go ahead and just push up and remove your barrel. Should just come right out. Now the barrel itself, we'll just go ahead and wipe it off with a patch that's got a little bit of oil on it. You can hit this with a brush if you need to, if it's really dirty or sandy, or see you get some mud or some dirt on it. Okay, this looks pretty good. There we go. Again, this is one drop of oil on the patch, and that's it. It's more than enough lubrication. You want to make sure that you have lubrication right here on this top lug, and then also in this lower portion of the barrel. Just make sure that you run your patch through there so that you have some lubrication on it. Okay, not bad. Now to actually clean out the barrel itself, you got a lot of options. At this point, you can take your brush that comes with the gun, you can put this on your cleaning rod, and you can run this through a couple times if you want to. Or if you've got a traditional brass cleaning rod, you can certainly do this too. I'm going to run the bore snake through, but the first thing I want to do is push a patch with a couple drops of oil on it through the barrel itself, and this will help ensure that there's any debris or anything that needs to come out of the barrel, it can at this point. Again, you might carry it for years and only clean it once a year. You might take it to the range every weekend, whatever works for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just push the patch through the back. There we go. Okay, no problems there. Go ahead and pull the patch out. We're going to inspect the barrel. Okay, it's ready to be cleaned and it's got some lubrication in it. All right, again, you go ahead and use whatever method you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and use the bore snake, which is really easy. Now, some people don't like these. They prefer to use, single piece cleaning rods, and that's certainly fine too. Okay, so this one's all set to go. I'm just going to put 2 drops of oil behind this bristle section right here and just pull it through the barrel a couple times, and that's it. Very simple. Okay, so 2 drops of oil. Again, I'm trying to use as little as possible here. Pull it from the back to the front. Okay, there we go. Just go ahead and pull through. There we go. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time and take a look. If it's nice and shiny, we are set to go. If you want, you can push a dry patch down the barrel. It'll still have plenty of lubricant in it. That'll be up to you. Mine's going to sit for a while, so I'm not going to. Plus, it's getting really humid right now also. So I want to make sure it's as protected as possible. Okay, looks good. Okay, excellent. All right, I got a little bit of excess oil here, so we're going to go ahead and just wipe that off. Just a little tiny bit where the barrel is. Okay, still has plenty of lubricant on it. Good, looks good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just set that off to the side at this point. Again, just make sure you've got lubrication here and here. Okay, and then also on the top, and then also make sure that there's just a little bit all over the barrel, okay? All right, we'll go ahead and set that off to the side. Now for the slide itself, very, very simple to clean this up. You can take your brush if you want to and just go ahead and scrub it out. There's already oil on the brush, so you don't have to worry about it. You can get in there a little bit, getting those tracks right here. There we go. Go ahead and get the front. I like to kind of hold it like this so any debris fall out. And hit that front area where your firing pin is going to come out. That's going to get really dirty. That's another area where you may want to take a Q-tip to your extractor right here and just kind of rub in there a little bit, and that'll take out any debris that gets in there. Okay, this looks pretty good. All right, going to take a single drop of oil on a patch, and we're just going to go ahead and wipe it out. Again, you've got a nice coating on here anyway that does protect the gun. This area right here where the firing pin is, again, this is going to get really dirty, so we want to make sure that's nice and clean. Scrub it a little bit. It's good to go. Okay. Now there's still a lot of lubrication in here, so I'm actually going to just take a dry patch to it this time. And there's going to be plenty to maintain, especially if you use something like CLP, which is really oily. You know, you're going to have plenty of lubrication left behind after you wipe it out. There we go. Just kind of wipe off any excess that's on there, and it's okay if there's a little oil in there. It's not going to be a problem. Okay, looks good. Okay, now for the actual lubrication itself, before we reassemble the pistol, there's just a few places where we need to put oil underneath the slide, and I'll show you where it's going to go. Okay, so if you don't have a needle oiler, it's okay, just a single drop will work. You just want to make sure it runs down the entire track on the inside of the slide on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a single drop and just kind of rub it down. And then let it go, and I can see the oil slowly trickling down here. Okay, if you have any excess that's running out, you know, feel free to go ahead and wipe that off. Okay, now the other side, we'll go ahead and just a single drop of oil. Kind of run it down a little bit and let go. Yeah, there's a little bit more than I want there. Okay, kind of get that out of there. There we go. Again, if it's running out of the crevice, you know, that's way too much, and it is slowly running down here, which is fine, because as soon as you charge the weapon a couple times, as soon as you actuate the slide a few times, it's going to lubricate the rails that the slide rides on, and you're going to be all set to go. All right, now let's go back to the frame real quick. Lubrication points for the frame, you definitely want to make sure that where this little trigger bar comes in contact with the connector back here, you want to just go ahead and put a single drop of oil on there. All right, so I think we're all ready to go. So the barrel, just a damp wipe down real quick with your patch with a drop of oil on it. Okay, that's good to go. Looks nice. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop the barrel in. Okay, now at this point, we will go ahead and take the guide rod and spring, and we'll go ahead and put that in. Again, it's only going to fit one way. Then you're going to lock it back into the barrel. You're going to need to press in just a little tiny bit so it locks into place. And it should look like this from the side. If it's diagonal at all, you definitely don't have it in correctly, but you really can't mess it up. Okay, it's pretty much set to go. Looks good. All right, go ahead and take your frame and hold on to it. And this is kind of a tricky part. Sometimes you have to kind of wiggle the slide a little bit to get it to go straight back on. But we're going to just pull on it here a little bit. There we go. Okay, it's going to lock into place. Okay, go ahead and check and make sure it's empty. It is. Go ahead and dry fire. Check your reset. Okay, let go of your trigger. And you are really good to go. Last thing, if the outside of the gun is really dirty, single drop of oil on a patch. Go and wipe it off. And otherwise, you are all set to go. Again, everybody kind of has their own cleaning method and cleaners that they like to use. Me, I like the cleanse oil because it tends to go on, you know, it lubricates, but then it dries a little bit and it leaves a protective lubricated surface, but it's not overly greasy. And I was a dyed-in-the-wool kind of CLP user for years, but I really do like Cleanse Oil's products. You know, they work really well. They're not overly greasy. And I've had the guns clean for months and months, and I pull them out and get ready to take them to the range, and there's still that coating on there to protect them. So that's it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is my simple video on how to clean the G17 Gen 5 Glock 17. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also over on Gunstreamer. You can also find me on UGEtube. Don't forget, I got a little podcast that I do on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time called Caliber Corner. And once in a while, I do a weekly edition, which is Thursdays at 6 p.m. We usually focus on one particular firearm on the weekly edition. And then on the weekends, we talk about whatever. But I think that's it. So like and subscribe, mash that bell so you don't miss any notifications. In the meantime, guys, to have fun, I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.